back in. All
The
right.
footage. There we go.
Okay. So we're back. It looks like we had some technical difficulties, but it's at 31:26
We did.
on time. So we're good. And let's just see. Should we just try to get the other camera angle? So there's two camera angles. Let's
Yeah.
just see if we can get that one in here. And good thing we stopped for a second to look at what's going on.
I know.
And
I didn't even notice it was frozen. Hopefully it at least got our audio.
bada boom, bada bang. There we are. So let's go there.
Oh,
Let's go here.
Logitech Brio.
Woo! All right, we're good.
Damn, all right.
So okay, just really quick, getting deep, getting real. Jeff Bezos. Let's rewind.
I'm so glad you remember what we were talking
Dude,
about.
I'm fucking good about that, bro.
Thank God.
Really good about that. I can, and I'm not the best, but yeah, give it.
I have
fucking,
short-term conversational memory for sure.
Give it like I don't know, 10 years now. I'm fucking got something going here. So all right, so keeping it real, Jeff Bezos. Recap what you just said.
Well, basically, I said that I think that there's a balance in everything in life, and when you're riding in yachts and buying Gucci and Fendi, and you still have millions of hundreds of millions or even billions in your bank account, and your employees are starving and struggling and can't afford to have kids and a wife and a family without making their wife work too on top of it, and then still barely making ends meet.
Yeah.
To me, that's something that is a disgrace to humanity,
I can see that.
is inhuman,
I can see that.
is selfish, and is greedy. And like I was saying also, while they definitely deserve increased wealth, and I have no problems with there being rich people and people who don't have to worry about money anymore, I think that's fantastic.
Yeah.
I also think that from the bottom of my heart, that people need to stop being so selfish and consider others.
100%.
Because I live my life considering others.
Yeah, and this is where I'm at to kind of give contrast on that subject matter. And I'm doing producing and shit right now at the same time that you're talking. And at Liftoff Agent, and I talked to someone over the weekend for a New Year's party, and so she's seen $100 million plus corporations publicly traded and saw the books and kind of like where the numbers lie and how much money. It's disgusting how much money these corporations have to spend, because it's not rocket science. If you don't spend the money,
it's expensive to run a big business.
Yeah, and if you don't spend the money, the profits, you're gonna fucking pay Uncle
and your
Sam.
shareholders are gonna be pissed.
Yeah, so you have to ebb and flow, and you have to pay. I get it. So one thing we're implementing at Liftoff, which will cross the bridge when it comes, but and she has some experience with this as well. This is my father-in-law's girlfriend's daughter, and so we profit share. So our goal at Liftoff is to give back to our team, and every single quarter, then help them out, profit share based off the profits that we have, and make it so there's margin. So the founders would get
and there's
a
room
bigger
for
margin.
that.
Yes,
You're still happy. You can afford all your wants and needs.
Correct.
You don't have to stress about day-to-day bills.
Correct.
You will never have to stress about day-to-day bills, even when you start doing that fully.
Yes.
And when you start making more profit, things will get easier for you and them, because they're a team, and without them, you'd be nothing.
Yep. Well, also, you can't forget that the people that are in the front lines are the ones that are dealing and seeing all the shit.
Absolutely.
And you're already paying them.
They're getting yelled at. They're getting calls.
So if you're just proactive and you're like, all right, so you have some type of procedure where it's like, we need your fucking feedback. Right? So you give the feedback, and then you have the analysts, like the business analyst, growth, whatever department, looks at all the feedback, right? Then, okay, great. And then if it increases by 10, 15, 20%, the fucking people should be compensated for the additional increase of production or productivity or whatever.
Amen.
Hello. It's not.
I mean, isn't it obvious? You don't want the highest turnover rate in America like McDonald's, I think, has. Like, I mean, you build a good team, you sure as hell want to keep them. You want them to feel like they're taken care of as well, because they are human beings. They are not numbers.
100%. And one reason why I really like Philippines and scaling out there is because they deal with, like, literally, my wife's traveled all over the world. I would like to say that I'm getting there. I haven't traveled as much as her. And so going to Korea and the Philippines was like the furthest I've ever gone. And in the Philippines, even she said it was the most restrictive. Like, you were literally felt like you did not have freedom. And so I mean this for, Team PH, anyone who's watching this, I mean this with love, from a perspective of like the way that, like, say for COVID,
Mhm.
You couldn't go from one city to the next city. For there, it's called provinces,
In the
and in
Philippines?
the Philippines, and
Uh-huh.
they had like literally gunned army men who are
Whoa.
like, you need to stay in your province, and like they were super strict on lockdown.
Whoa.
If you go to stores now after lockdown, you go to
Uh-huh.
a grocery store, you go to a convenience store, they literally have a guard who's armed who literally checks your bag to make sure you don't have anything.
Uh-huh.
And then they will follow you around inside the said store to like see what you're up to, what you're doing. And it
Because
just
people
feels,
steal so
I
much, and I guess
guess,
that's what they think is a good solution.
but they don't. They don't have a lot of crime, it seems like. And
Do they
now
even have, like, super wealthy people there that could, like,
they
help the economic situation for the poor, or
they
no?
do, and they do. So the way that it works in the Philippines is they have basically like Westwood. Westwood is a
Uh-huh.
compound
Uh-huh.
where you eat and everything in this compound, and
Mhm.
it's a freaking micro city,
Mhm.
sky-rise micro city, and they're pockets of these areas built around VPO centers, call centers for Chase, Wells Fargo, and the
Whoa.
large corporations. So the said money, which is corporate money that's being filtered into the Philippines that are developing these freaking infrastructures that house all these people
It's
to then
American corporation money, like, for the
correct.
most part? Uh-huh.
Correct, because the Filipino culture is one of the most kindest, sweetest, and
Hardworking.
hardworking, and they can speak really good English, and so some people don't even know you're talking to someone in the Philippines.
Wow.
Yeah, and we built and we took team members from, said debt collection company, because a lot of debt collection companies that use them because VPOs, and they make the phone calls and all the things.
It's pretty much what they have to do there to make
Yeah,
ends meet.
exactly.
Mhm.
So, basically, they have to say when they're going to the bathroom,
Uh-huh.
they have to check in
Whoa.
and check out for everything, for like the bathroom, for time off. Like if there's like a medical emergency, they still need to get approval, so they can't just leave. Like, and then when you have said idea, they then tell the manager. The manager will take said idea and give it to the upper manager, take that credit, and then the person gets nothing.
Dude.
And so our team and staff were subject to and limited to that shit. And
Mhm.
now they're here with an open door policy.
See,
They
that's
can speak their
fantastic.
mind. They get to profit share.
They get to work from home
They get to
now.
work from home. I mean, we just flew out and flew 4 of the members to Korea, got them their visas. They were over the moon, never
Dude,
went there in
that's
their life.
amazing.
You know,
'Cause I
that's
probably never thought they'd be able to do something like that, take
ever,
a trip like that.
ever.
Wow.
And I'm literally now, and I've never really talked about this on like a podcast or publicly, like training our staff members, Vits, who's like my right hand gal. Like she's the female version of me in the Philippines. Like she
Mhm.
knows me through in and throughout.
Uh-huh.
She makes calls for hiring and shit where she's like, I'm not even gonna waste Norm's time. I know exactly what he would do in this situation. And I give her
That's
I
amazing.
give her full range because I don't need to
Mhm.
fucking micromanage, and I
Uh-huh.
don't need to feel like I'm any less powerful.
They're
I'm fucking more
humans.
powerful knowing
Uh-huh.
that she can do what she needs to do without me being
You
there.
don't have to worry.
It's fucking dope,
You're
dude.
dude, that's so
It's
sick.
dope. And so
Doesn't
for
it make you
her,
kinda sad too, though, that those are American corporations doing that to
oh
those
my
people?
god, dude.
Like that, like, it
It's
almost feels like a disgrace. Like,
yeah.
that goes against everything that we're here for,
Because
like, that America stands for.
outside of those provinces, it's third world country.
Fuck.
It's like cats and dogs running in the streets. It's like buildings
So
that
if
are
you don't
fucking
work for, like, a
not
Wells
finished.
Fargo like, call center, you're fucked.
If you're not doing that, then you're doing basically grab. And grab is like either you're grabbing a person and you're riding a scooter,
Mhm.
or food
Mhm.
and running around basically delivering shit, picking shit up and that type of stuff.
Mhm.
Or
Or,
you're
like, farming.
or a scrap yard. They do
Mhm.
a lot of scrap yard shit too. Or you're basically, that's it. I mean, or you're working at like a fast food chain. What's the fucking one out there? Super Bee or whatever it's called.
Jollibee.
Jollibee.
Mhm.
That's huge out there.
Mhm.
Jollibee's like the thing,
It's even
right?
expanding to here, which is good for
Yeah,
them.
it's in
Good for
Arizona.
them. Really good for them,
Yeah, from the
to
Philippines
be
to fucking
honest.
it's fucking all the way across the country or the
Uh-huh.
fucking the
World.
ocean. Yeah, the world.
Damn.
So going into a completely different topic, but you know, to recap what we were talking about, it's just amazing to think to ourselves, like, how said corporations have been ran. And
Mhm.
I feel like what's going to happen is it's going to be completely different because one thing for any marketers out there, speaking of technology, is that it's always going to be, and majority of the time, it's going to be the logo. So the
Mhm.
logo's up in, like, Chase logo, McDonald's, Blockbuster, which now is gone. So it's Netflix and whatever.
You know when you see it.
You know when you see it, right? And you don't know really who the executives, the CEOs, or any of those people are. So
Never.
one of the reasons why, if you don't already know, viewers and listeners out here that's been listening now for 41 minutes, you're a real one. Thank you. Like, subscribe. Thanks, Liftoff Agent, for sponsoring. Um, is that we like to bring people on to go deeper, so you can get behind the look. of that person,
Uh-huh.
right? And your company and who you are and what you're doing. This is a great PR opportunity. Share it with whoever you want. They can see
Uh-huh.
who you are, vibe with you, and then now be like, hey, I want Jacob to be my fucking new best friend.
Yeah, because they get to meet me without actually having to meet me in person,
Yes.
and that's fantastic.
Yes, right, right. The power of passive prospecting.
Mhm.
Talk about that here in a minute. And so it's just interesting to just be able to have people on, have that contrast, go behind the scenes, tell it as it is,
Mhm.
and then you look at these large corporations and you look at how they're just like it's harder and harder anyone marketing out there to be able to get like you need like $1 million a year ad budget to get your
Mhm.
ads really pumping so you can bring in
Mhm.
deal flow because it's not the same that it used to be.
Or another good opportunity, like, that a lot of people have been using today is influencer marketing.
Yep.
So it's cheaper,
Mm-hmm.
and you find a guy with 10,000 followers and 100,000 followers, which today is common.
Yep.
People have a million followers you've never heard of.
Never heard of.
Millions of people, tens of millions of people have a million followers on, like, especially
Yep.
TikTok, right?
Yep.
You get in contact with them, you message them, you email them, whatever. You pay them $2,000 and they'll shell out your thing. They'll make top 10 best beauty products, whatever video,
Yeah.
and you pay them and they'll put yours at number 1 or 2,
Yeah.
like,
100%. 100%.
just because you paid them.
And then from there, it's like people buy from someone they know, like, and trust, so they
Mhm.
automatically it's I feel like it's good to go on that route
Mhm.
if you're vibing with the person, and
Absolutely.
it's not don't just pay anyone
No,
because that is
because it'll represent your brand.
correct.
And a lot of people also don't realize when they see those top 10 videos also, like, that shit's fake.
Yeah.
Like, that shit is paid for.
Yeah.
Like, people are paying money to have their things on those top 10 lists or those
100%.
beauty product videos or whatever, like, they might not tell you, which again is, I think, against FCAA guidelines,
Yep.
but it's definitely illegal. They might not tell you, but it's paid for. So,
It is.
don't watch a damn TikTok to get your fucking toilet paper or whatever.
No, definitely not. And that's where I feel like what we're doing on the Lift Off agent side is that we're pushing the I just rebranded myself to Mr. Liftoff. It's like tatted
Uh-huh.
on my fucking arm,
That's
right?
badass.
I appreciate you, bro.
Mhm.
And it's not just for Liftoff agent because I have goals and aspirations to do so much more. Like literally have a consultation tomorrow to be able to like start mentoring our youth, like kids that are
That's
going through
fucking
like middle
sick.
to high school that are dealing with whatever type of trying situations. And I want to give back my time and serve and support and do what I can, right? And so it's interesting how like now we're doing this differently where now we're gonna be running a bunch of retargeting ads. So if you see my face all over the fucking place, you probably went to our website because that's a cheap way to fucking market, right?
Uh-huh.
Is to plant a Facebook pixel, someone goes to your website and then have an ad and be like, hey, you
Have an
remember
ad that, like, targets the cookies or whatever on their
remember me?
webpage.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Remember me? I was that guy at the fucking
And they're
presentation
like,
you
"Oh,
just
yeah,
went
I
to.
do remember him.
I never set up
Can I
that
click his
meeting.
link?"
Oh fuck, right?
Mhm.
So that's where I feel like kind of segueing into I feel like this is a seamless fucking transition. Make sure okay, we're still recording here.
Not frozen.
Um into video, right? Because
Yeah.
because right now we didn't talk too much about some of the clients that we work with at Liftoff, and it's crazy that passive prospecting is something that I think a lot of people could be doing right now, and I feel like it's even better than AI because you get to build
Definitely
a know,
better than
like, and
AI.
trust, right? Head talk, which you edit a lot of head talk videos, which is
Mhm.
huge, and take it to the next level, long form YouTube. My
Mhm.
wife and I were going from California to here, found some guy on his iPhone who was recording all the different cities and locations, not a licensed real estate professional, but
Mhm.
I didn't have to fly out. I didn't have to get a hotel. I didn't spend any fucking time doing that shit.
Uh-huh.
And then this guy just showed me all the things, but he was just one vertical subscribers potentially monetizing, not
Uh-huh.
thinking about like real estate agents, you could have multiple verticals,
Uh-huh.
right?
And it's not even just about monetizing, like, your YouTube channel and your videos and stuff like that. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
when you do something like have a podcast, you're creating the opportunity to meet new people, to make connections,
Yep.
so potentially new business
Yep.
partners, new things you can offer, and also on top of that, you're meeting with people that potentially want to buy your product.
Yes.
Like, that's the number one thing about it is, like, putting yourself out there and especially hosting a podcast like you do,
Yeah.
it's like you're just getting free help with, like,
Yeah.
whatever you need. Like, the fact that I'm here, you might have a producer.
Yeah.
Like, you know what
100%.
I'm saying? Like, it's so crazy to me that, like, just the fact that you have a podcast is unlocking opportunities for you like magic every week when you have somebody
Yes.
new in here. People you didn't
100%.
know, like me.
Yeah. Whether it's a podcast that you do on Zoom, super simple, very easy, just online.
Mhm.
In-person podcast we're doing right now,
Uh-huh.
right? You have help over here. Jacob can help you out. And or if you just want to do something simple and you want to just sit in front of a computer and like show a map of your
Talk to
area,
people.
because they can a lot of our clients do this. They do a map, they talk about the area, they talk about parks, schools, restaurants. Living in Dallas, Texas did like $100 million in transactions in 2022 just off of
Damn,
passively prospecting off of YouTube.
dude.
Zero ad spend.
Oh my
They're
god.
building their downline, so they're making
Uh-huh.
money there. They're transacting, buyers and sellers making money there.
Uh-huh.
They're now monetized their YouTube channel, making money there.
Uh-huh.
Now they're doing fucking a YouTube course, making money there.
Uh-huh.
And then we have rev share partnership with them as well, so making
Ooh.
money there. So they just have all of these various different
But people don't
verticals.
unlock that stuff because they're too afraid to talk to people, too afraid to meet new people, too afraid
Yes.
to put themselves out there, put
Yes.
themselves on camera. They're insecure. I've never been on a podcast before, but here I am because I know what I want, I know what I need. I go out there and I get it.
100%. And we're breaking barriers.
Absolutely.
You're fucking 21. I'm 36. We never met each other.
Uh-huh.
We come from fucking completely different worlds.
Mhm. You were from California, I'm from here.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then it's just like, oh shit. All right, cool. We're vibing out. And this is just what it is.
And I met you through a friend of a friend,
A
basically.
friend of a friend. 100%.
Probably I met Michael. It was like I basically met you through a friend of a friend of a friend of a friend. Because that's the way you make
Crazy.
connections.
Crazy.
You go
dude.
deep with people. You say, "Do you know somebody? I want to meet them."
Yes.
I'm
And
trying to look for friends.
it's funny you said something about the producer thing because I always thought in the back of my mind that like I like organic.
Uh-huh.
I'm not talking about fruits and vegetables here, okay, people? No. I just like being organic, right?
Me
So
too.
when, and my wife does buy organic. but in contrast to, you're dropping the line of like, hey, you might have a producer, which is
Uh-huh.
fucking cool because that's something that I premeditated on,
Uh-huh.
but never had an agenda or a time frame or this is when it's going to happen. I just
Uh-huh.
said, I'm just going to keep showing up, keep showing up, keep showing up.
And then things fall in your lap. That's what happens when you show up, bro.
Yes.
You need to just show up day in
Yes.
and day out. If you sit in your bed or play video games for 18 hours a day, which I have done. I have
I've done
fucking
it.
done that. Trust me, okay?
Yeah.
You're not gonna get shit done.
No.
You sit there with your hopes and dreams and then they die in your head. And they
Yes.
don't go anywhere. And then you're alone for the rest of your life with nothing, none of your dreams accomplished, none of your goals. You die one day, and that's the end of the fucking story.
100%. And just in contrast to, just to put this out there, because now you're here 48 minutes, and I just want to give some contrast. Not that this matters, but I was looking at the board, and before we got on the show, I was like, okay, we did about 825,000, so just shy of $1 million. I want to do 1.5, closer to 2, and hey, I'm
This
fucking
year? Is that your
yeah,
goal?
that was this year's 1.5 liftoff, and then 500,000 for the fix and flip my wife and I. So 2 million this year.
Uh-huh.
Last year did 800, so that's basically just it's a 50% plus. And so, that's where we're at right now. 150 plus agents. We're doing over 45,000 recurring revenue. So just for contrast purposes, so you understand, in the podcast alone, just so they know, 300 episodes, been doing this for 3 years now, probably 25 to 30,000 one times, and 10 to 15,000 reoccurring revenue from the podcast because we're building connections.
Uh-huh.
And I never was ever intending to make all that money, and I didn't premeditate that shit. I just let it happen the way it happened.
Uh-huh.
And we found people that are going to be the right like persona profile, or people that we would vibe with or connect with, or potentially it could be a commonality, or maybe they needed potentially us, but they didn't know who us was, which was said sponsor liftoff agent for real estate first technology. So I'm giving you all more than I would normally say, just because why not? And we're fucking going down this rabbit hole anyway. So it's like, fuck it.
You only live once,
Yeah.
bro, like we're talking about.
And
so
some
just
people
fucking pull the trigger.
And some people also are kind of like the narcissists, like, who are these fucking kids? Like talking about like this, that, and the other thing, like they know what's going on. So I just wanted to flex a little bit.
The irony of somebody saying that
flex
also.
a little bit.
Sheesh, look at that fucking guy, dude. He's been hitting the gym. I can tell.
I've grown a lot. I'm fucking proud.
Dude, I need to fucking join you in that journey.
Let's go, dude.
As a 21-year-old who was 106 pounds at 18 years old,
dude.
I'm 170 now, so I've been making some progress.
How tall are you?
6 foot.
6 foot. I'm 5'8". 5'8", 180 right now, 177, something like that. But I went from 186 down to 156 V shreds cut 6 months ago. And then after that 3 months, I did the bulk, and I went from like 156 on my Instagram to like 176, 175, something
Are
like
you
that.
going every day? You're working out every day?
6 days a week is what the program has me on, and I want to
yeah.
get on stage this year.
Yeah?
I want to get on stage. My wife's been on stage 5 times for figure competition. Yeah.
Whoa.
And I'm like, fuck, dude. You can't do it, and I'm not.
I'm scared. I'm nervous. She's
Is
she gonna kick my ass?
But she's like 5 what? Nothing? 5'1", 5'2". She's short. Redhead, but she's definitely has a strong personality. So I just doing it, and I track. I'm fucking macro, MyFitnessPal, track my shit every single day.
Dude,
so
that's amazing.
Super structured with that shit,
bro.
to a point where then like like I always say like, oh yeah, I'm gonna be like I don't even track my food. I'm good. I know what I'm doing. And I would never really got to that next level. 180 at 10% is next level for me. It might be 10 or 11, 12, whatever percentile, but tracking to know and then live and then be able to just like
Helps you
be at
feel way
that.
more, like, confident in what you're doing.
Oh my god, dude. And
Mhm.
like kicking off the gym, talk about, hey, happy new year, everyone. It's like what, Jan fucking 4th right now.
Mhm.
Um, man, the gym is just there's not a lot of people hitting it hard. I'm like, where's all the
For New
fucking
Year's?
people for the New Year's? Yeah.
Really?
Well, I go at like 4:35, so that's usually where the hardcore people go.
I was about to say, that's why nobody's there.
And even a lot of those people that normally go aren't going. My neighbor
Wow.
Joe, I'm like, where the fuck you
Maybe their
at,
New
dude?
Year's resolution was to stop fucking working out.
Take a time, take a year off. I don't fucking know.
Their New Year's
Whatever.
resolution is to cut.
Dude, it's crazy, dude. It's crazy. So I do want to touch a little bit on service,
Yeah,
what you have to offer, what you're doing. I think
sure.
anyone who's been at this point
Wants to know.
wants to probably know a little bit more about what the hell do you do and how does it
I
work.
hope they would like to.
And even if it's just one of you, just someone, they're just like, hey,
I'm curious.
you're
So,
curious.
yeah,
Because
totally.
you're talking
So
about like before we're on air, like the proactive nature of like taking feedback from said customer to
uh-huh,
then pivot.
uh-huh,
Got to pivot quick when you have a small business.
uh-huh,
And then you said, hey, here's the new package. This is what we're doing. This is where you're going to go.
uh-huh.
Like, talk a little bit about the packages. How does shit work?
Yeah. So I offer 5 packages that range from $800 a month
Okay.
to $5,000 a month at the
Let's
top
go.
tier. We offer social media coaching, podcast studio building, podcast production,
Nice.
podcast filming. So we'll be in the room with you producing, setting up the cameras, making sure everything runs smoothly, checking the audio, everything like that, running the soundboard.
Let's go.
Um, I have been producing podcasts for 3 years, so that's a huge part of it for me. We also produce Instagram reels that are separate from the podcast. So if you want a podcast, we run uh I think it's like 6 reels per podcast, 6 to 10 reels per podcast. It just
Wow.
depends on the amount of content, you can pull from it, depends on the length of the podcast and everything like that.
Yeah.
And then we do talking head videos outside of that as well. So once a month session, depends on the package. Sometimes we offer twice a month, 12 videos each. Or in our biggest package, we offer unlimited video shoots, 12 videos each per month,
Wow.
all editing included in them as well. Um, and we'll film. Usually, we'll come to your house or another location, like Pastawa Peak. We recently did one. It's a beautiful spot.
Nice.
And we'll film 12 videos right there, and then get them back to you in 5 to 7 days. And just like that, we offer social media management as well in some of our bigger packages. So somebody to post for you, write captions, search engine optimization, analytics tracking. And I don't know if I mentioned, but we also have a social media coach. His name is Dennis. He's a legend. He's an on-camera personality, and he absolutely kills it. So,
Let's go.
uh-huh,
Let's go. I love that. I love that. Yeah, we do the just start up, ramp up, scale up. We have just 3 with some add-ons,
mhm,
but hey, 5, more power to you.
uh-huh.
I love the services. I think it's great. I
Thank you.
definitely feel like there could be some vibe that we could talk about, whether you're sitting in the podcast studio here, set up, but don't have a producer.
Absolutely.
Also personally with my personal content, I do want to do more with. I have
Mhm.
fun. I like to edit. Microphone, pop it in real quick, do my
Uh-huh,
shit, and then in
uh-huh,
shot and
uh-huh.
captions app work really good for me.
I could tell you use the captions app because I
Yep.
look at some of your posts and I was like, dude, this guy does what I do by
By myself,
himself.
bro. I'm a
It's
fucking
badass though. I fucking
yeah.
respect that shit.
I
Like I was telling
appreciate
you
you,
before
bro.
we started filming, like, bro, just do it. Like if you can't afford it, if you don't want to spend the money, do it yourself.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't care. It doesn't. It's good.
And it's interesting because there was a time where I would give a shit
Mhm.
about oh, thanks, I appreciate you seeing that, everything else. But
Uh-huh.
now it's like I rather be at the one person who's at my house on the podcast and we're
Uh-huh.
talking together and you
Mhm.
see what the fuck I'm doing that
Uh-huh.
inspires you to do more than just millions of people.
Me too, bro. And this is way more inspiring than even like, being on a Zoom call or some shit
Oh
like
my
that, where
god, dude.
somebody's talking about some shit like these Zoom masterminds that people do and stuff
Yeah.
like that. Like I'm good, bro.
Yeah.
Like you couldn't pay me to go to one of those.
No.
It depends on how much
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It depends. It
money.
depends. It
Maybe
depends.
I'll go. Like if you're gonna give me 10K, sure, I'll join your
Yeah.
fucking Zoom thing for a couple
Well,
hours.
dude.
But I just don't get anything out of it because I like human connection is like a face to face thing for me,
Dude.
and I need that.
Welcome to the real estate world, bro. Fucking
Mhm.
Zoom meeting after Zoom meeting after Zoom meeting. It's a lot. It's a lot. And that's why I needed to do this because I need to get out of the Zoom world. It
Mhm.
is crazy though. I've had some deep connections on Zoom. I mean, I built a whole
I saw
fucking
some
team in the
clips.
Philippines
Uh-huh.
off fucking Zoom, dude. It's
Uh-huh.
pretty crazy.
That is pretty crazy.
Goosebumps and all, bro. I'm like, what
Uh-huh.
the fuck? Vibing out here. But yeah, I hear you loud and clear.
Mhm.
There's a human element, human connection. We're already in a fucking virtual fucking simulation anyway. So why do we need to be
AI is coming out. It's gonna fucking take over the world soon, and
yeah.
fucking so we might as well go. We can't have a real human
Yeah.
connection before it's like
We're
Ready Player
fucked.
One.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, it makes sense. At the end of the day, not going to deep fucking rabbit hole. It's like if you don't set parameters and it's open fucking source and can do all the things,
We are fucked.
Yeah. They
Can't
just
do
look at
that.
humans as a whole, and they're like, "Oh, yeah, history repeats itself. Okay, fucking bomb, boom, everyone's done."
Every time I use ChatGPT, I say please because I'm afraid that like if it gets sentient, it's gonna look back on the chat logs and be like, "This guy was a
Uh,
fucking asshole to
he
me back when I
never
was
said
stupid.
fucking
I know he
please.
showed me no respect. I treat them like I'm talking to a person."
Oh my god, I love that. I love that. Dude, this has been fucking I mean, we could
It's
talk
been a
forever.
blast, bro.
It's been a
Yeah, we
blast. Can't
definitely
believe it's
could.
already 12:09.
I know.
I hate
Holy
to
fuck.
hate to live by the fucking by the clock, but then when you're like,
That's
"Oh
how life
shit,
goes.
gotta eat. Oh yeah, I got a couple meetings this afternoon." It's
Mhm.
like that's one point I think with business. It's like you gotta have some structure there,
Oh,
right? And
absolutely.
some guard until you get to a place that you're big enough where you could just say,
People
"Fuck
structure
it."
it for you.
Yeah, exactly. So that's
That
where we're at
sounds
right now.
nice.
We're at the
Uh-huh.
people structure part right now, and I'm
Uh-huh.
like this close to scaling the sales division, and I'll
Mm.
just do this more and
Dude,
just take a handful of fucking strategy sessions, and then just get on stage
that
and
sounds like a blast.
just vibe out,
That's
dude.
called the life right
This
there.
that's the fucking life,
The
dude.
dream.
Jacob, it's been fucking amazing,
It
man. I'm gonna put
has.
the camera on you, dude.
Thank you,
At the
bro.
end of the episodes, we like to leave anything that you want to give the viewers and listeners that they can just apply to their life or business now. Some need me to give them more direction in that, but if there's something that just comes top of mind, just fucking rapid fire, bro.
Life has taught me that you need to work hard and stop caring what other people think. Like I said at the beginning of the podcast, I got one $800 a month client. I came home and I told my wife I quit my job. I dropped out of high school to pursue my dreams. Pursue your dreams. You know what you want. Go get it and stop being so scared. Because if you sit there scared all day long, it's never going to happen. You're just going to be afraid.
Boom. I love that, dude. I love that. And straight up, just like intentionally looking at the camera. It's funny how many
Mhm.
guests we've had on. It's just like, you look there. Yeah.
Right in the
Yeah,
lens.
right in the lens. So
Mhm.
that way you can really connect with that person and they can see that you're actually vibing. So that's if you're on YouTube watching the episode. If you're
Yeah.
listening somewhere else, that's totally
I was
fine.
looking at the camera if you're listening.
Yes, he was. He was. And feedback, welcome, subscribe, like, comment. All the social media links are going to be down below for Jacob. And, as always, it's our intention to give more value so you can apply to your business, have more massive success. Thanks to Liftoff Agent for sponsoring the show. Jacob, thanks again for being on the show.
Thanks for having me on and thanks for listening, guys.
Of course, it was fucking phenomenal. And thank you for tuning in to another podcast of Real Estate First Technology Unleashed.